Hi, I'm Scott Yanuck. I'm the president of Laurel Environmental Associates. We do environmental consulting. We work on projects ranging from gas stations, brownfields, residential, industrial, you name it. My role in this project, the Brighton Green project, was to identify environmental concerns and issues and find ways to clean them up. We work closely with New York City's Office of Environmental Remediation, and we worked with many of the subcontractors on the project in assisting with installing geothermal wells and the Advantic system and doing soil borings that were necessary for the building design. Well, we were involved with the, first of all, with the cleanup of the property, meeting the OER's standards, so it got a green property certification. And that was, was a key component in like the first step of the project, getting that. Once we got that, then we were able to move forward with the rest of the project. We helped with the geothermal install. We did all of the drilling and the grouting of the wells, installation of the wells, and we worked closely with that company that was involved with that. Yeah, Brighton Green can help change the attitude of what we think buildings are in the city, as opposed to just having your typical apartment building that is burning fossil fuels for heat and using tons of electricity for cooling and everything. Now you've got a structure that's both very livable, low impact on the environment, doesn't use much water, doesn't discharge much to the sewer, recycles rainwater. In addition, it uses almost no energy to heat and cool the building. Brighton Green is going to enhance the livability of the residents by having a building that basically is very comfortable to live in, uses almost no electricity, no power, and the indoor air quality is monitored constantly, and will be just a great place to live in, great space. Well, for one, it'll be an uber green neighbor. People will be able to feel good about living next to that. Maybe they'll be the next one to be able to move into a building like this. I mean, they're looking at the cutting edge of technology as far as apartment buildings go. Well, one of the things that Brighton Green that they did in the design was they raised the base of the building slightly, and all of the utilities, the key utilities, are above. They're not in the basement. So if there was another storm like Sandy, first of all, this building didn't even really flood. The basement got a little bit of water in it, but there were no utilities that would have been knocked down. So it can handle these stronger storms we're having. And then it can also, because it's got solar power, geothermal, it could continue to run without being tied to the grid. If everybody else was down, they'd still run. Yes, this is just the beginning of what's coming. The design features that went into this, and the way everything was done, and the end product is incredible. So, if all buildings were built like this going forward, energy usage would be cut drastically. Yeah, I mean, this building's awesome. The views, the space, it's just fantastic, and then it kind of embodies, what I'm all about. I mean, I got solar panels on my roof here. I have them on my house at home. I've been into this stuff for a long time, and it's nice to see it filtering down to, going into apartment buildings in the city. I mean, that's great. Condos, I could see condos replacing a lot of the old rundown buildings and people moving in and then, just not even using any electricity. It's great. The solar panels, these are Cylindra. Now, a lot of people have bad connotation when they hear that name, but they're panels that were very easy to install. They were U.S. made. They were made and designed in California, There was a plant that was pumping them out. They were a little bit expensive per watt, and they were basically, they died because the price of solar panels dropped by 75% with the influx of the Chinese, cheap Chinese solar panels. But they were really easy to install. They're efficient, and I love them. And since we installed them, we've not used any electricity in this building it's been over a year, and we have more on the meter, or less power on the meter now than when we started a year ago. So we've not used anything. Similar in output, but the Brighton solar panels look different. Those are more traditional flat panels, and they need to be on an angle. So those are kind of out in front, tiered out in front of the building. And so at Brighton, you've got the PV at the top, and then you've got the solar thermal at the bottom. Whereas these really are only for flat roofs. Yeah, so this is some of the equipment that we use to install the wells over at Brighton Green. These are this is called 3 1/4 inch rods, and basically they go down with this expendable point, drive them down 100 feet, and we pull them out. This thing gets left in the ground, and then we put the tubes down inside of these casing, and then we put down special bentonite grout that is thermally conductive. Okay. For the system, so it basically protects the system as well as helps conduct the heat through it. Right. For the geothermal. Well, these are rotary hollow stem rotary augers, and so for going with 2-inch wells or going 4-inch wells, these things slowly turn to go into the ground, and basically soil comes up around them. Whereas the other ones, the 3 1/4 inch wells, these get put down with percussive, just basically hammering them. So this one's really loud, but it goes kind of fast. This one's not so loud, but it's really slow, and then you wind up with all this dirt up at the surface. We couldn't use these at Brighton Green because actually we tried the first one, and we started the whole ground started
moving in. Right?
Yeah, because we were pulling so much soil out, and it was sucking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it.